In Laos, Eric tells Eliwood of a plot to use Laos as a starting ground in a rebellion against Ostia. Eliwood needs proof to believe these accusations, and so he and his allies pursue Darin, the fleeing Marquess of Laos. Where that chase would lead, Eliwood could not have known. I know, but I've played the game before. You might know, but then you've probably played the game before. So, on to the next level for those who haven't. Meanwhile, at Laos Castle... Oh, Hector and Eliwood are still just hanging around, apparently. We haven't left since the last level. It's been 5 days. And Hector's brother is not taking action. Oh, and apparently Burn, another place, is planning to attack us as well. That's even better. We're being attacked from within, we're being attacked from without, and we just really don't have anything to do with any party but our own. Everybody else wants to kill us. That's just brilliant. There you are. So every country has a spy working in Ostia. There you want to go. Because you want to find out what's going on in Lycia. Well, turns out the main things aren't in Ostia right now, but that's the one they're paying attention to, so... Oh, and Castle Caelin has fallen. So apparently Lynn's in some trouble. There you go. So apparently they attacked Caelin for no reason? Seriously, they were trying to keep a... Holy crap, that's a lot of units. Oh, I remember this level now. Oh well. So, we have Kent, Sane, Lynn, and Will just sitting at the bottom right corner of the map here. Lynn escaped at Lord Housen's orders, but she wants to get back in. There you go. So, the best path would be through the forest. But Florina's going to go. She's just going to fly to Laos, get some help, it'll be fine. Okay, so she's going to go ahead and fly out, and it's good to see these two again. Especially Sane, because it means I'm actually going to have a decent cavalier. Oh. We spotted a Pegasus Knight. Oh, well, there you go. Some archers are going to try to fire at her, and we've literally shown up at the exact moment that the entire fight is going on. So, what do you know? Why are there archers showing up? Something up high, look what they're aiming, it's a Pegasus Knight. Ah, just heard the dodge sound, so we should be alright. Okay, so Florina's going to start with us, and the rest of Lynn's party is going to start in the bottom right corner of the map. Now, you will have control over Lynn's party, though, even though technically the tactician is nowhere near them. So, what you have to do is you have to make sure that your parties meet up by the end of this level. It's not necessary, but it's going to make things quite a bit easier. And although we were supposedly fighting the best and brightest of the other area before, the enemies here are still from the other part of Lycia, and they're still even stronger, so apparently they really didn't use their best units against us. He just told that to his son. You know, pretty upstanding guy. Alright, I'm going to give Matthew the Iron Blade. Although his strength isn't particularly high, so he might have some trouble wielding it, his speed is high enough that he might be able to more than make up for that with his speed. Now, Urk doesn't have any sort of vulnerary. Does anyone else that he could take? Matthew has 2. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to take the 3-use vulnerary from Matthew. And save. Now let's check out how our units are doing, check the map, see what we have to worry about. We've got some Myrmidons, we've got an archer there, so if I were to fly for Florina across this map, because she is going to show up right about here, she would only have to take out the archer and stay out of the range of the second one to be able to stay alive. Meanwhile, there are towns here, and if I'm not mistaken, there are going to be bandits showing up to try to kill the both of them. They might show up from up in this mountain, though, if I'm not mistaken, so that's not too difficult. Lynn is going to be in the bottom right corner, so she can easily visit this village with Kent and Sane, and they'll probably even be able to push out, considering I've trained those two this playthrough. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start the map. Merlinus does level up from having a previous level up, but Foray's new tactician, it was you all along? Yeah, there you go. Alright, so, Merlinus, you don't actually ever see his stats go up, but with each level, he gets some skill, speed, luck, defense, resistance. Now, his constitution is maxed out at 25, and his aid is technically 24, but he can't rescue things. So, all that means is you can't pick up Merlinus. Nobody can pick up Merlinus. That's what happens. So, the easiest way to deal with the bandits coming from the top is going to be to leave someone here. In this case, I'm going to leave Matthew, since he's already high enough level that we don't have to worry about him too much. But we do have to worry about the fact that Merlinus is right there, and the bandits are going to be attempting to kill him. We can send Florina down to this city, especially because there are just 2 units with swords down there. She'll have a slim lance and a javelin, so nothing particularly deadly, but that's alright. Sane, what does he have? A steel lance and an iron sword? Sounds good. Kent has a steel sword and a javelin, but he's only level 4. Sane is level 7, Lynn is 10, and Will is 7, so they're actually fairly balanced for this part of the game. I'm going to send... was that Kent or Sane? Sane, good. I'm going to send Sane along because I think out of the 2, he'd be the better one to train. And then Kent is going to just lag a little bit behind, and Will is going to be behind them, though at this point Will is quite inferior to Rebecca, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of stats. Yeah, they're actually about the same. She has higher skill and speed, though, which is absolutely necessary. In the meantime, we are going to have units coming up behind us eventually. I think. I can't be certain of that, but I think we do, so I'm going to go ahead and leave Oswin back here for pretty much the entire mission. If no units do show up, then we'll still be alright, but if they do show up, then we want to make sure that Merlinus is well defended, and since the enemy units will attack whoever's closest to their range, Oswin will make the best target. Also, we're going to be using Priscilla to heal quite a bit through this playthrough. But our healers are really going to hit their peak about the same time that we get Ninian back. Slight spoiler, not really. Now, we do want to train Florina, because a Pegasus Knight is going to be an excellent unit, and the fact that we trained her up in Lynn's story means that she is actually going to be able to hold her own in a fight now. Meanwhile, Sane is still able to do ludicrous amounts of damage even if he's not able to attack twice, which means that it's going to be fairly easy to train him up. We've also got a Myrmidon on that side moving into engage, which is fine. We can deal with the Myrmidon. But we need to get Florina a better weapon. Slim lances are nice, but she's strong enough at this point that she can wield a regular lance without too many issues. We have a thief moving down south for some reason. I think thieves might be able to pillage the town. But he also has a lockpick with 15 uses. What is his speed? 10? What's Matthew's speed? 14. So if I can get Matthew down there to that thief, I can actually steal his lockpicks. So I'm going to leave Guy up here to fight off the units coming down from the mountain. And Hector is going to use his Wolf Bale. It will break fairly quickly, but once it breaks, he should be powerful enough that we don't have to worry about it anymore. What level is Florina? Level 8. Jeez, I forgot how much I'd trained her in Lynn's story. So she's going to go ahead and get a kill there. Lots more experience. And you do want to visit this little town on the left here, so you can send Marcus around. Marcus is always a pretty good town runner, just because he doesn't really require any items to do so. Urk, with his Fire Tome, is more than capable of taking on quite a few enemies here, especially because he's such a high level himself. So we can use him to clear the path a bit, since enemies are going to be coming in as reinforcements from the forts here and here. But if you're quick enough, those forts reinforcements will actually be more of, well, a rear guard by the time you make it through. It's actually sort of fun just to be able to try to find out how many units you can get past that they really didn't intend you to before they can spawn. Of course, there are places later in the game that just go straight around this by having the unit spawn when you pass a certain point instead of having the unit spawn on a certain turn, but that's way later in the game. Alright, Kent remains fairly terrible, but with his javelin he could deal enough damage that I think Sane should be able to finish him off. And then we can send Lyn up to deal with the Myrmidon, because she's more than powerful enough to take one of them out. Now this enemy unit can attack twice, but he's not going to be dealing any damage, so we're fine with that. Doesn't really matter, Sane gets a level up, hopefully some speed here pretty soon. Oh, he had a Horse Slayer. That would have been bad if he'd actually used it. Yeah, only 10 speed. Okay, apparently 10 speed isn't high enough to avoid getting double attacked. Lyn has the Manicotti now full on uses, completely free to use. And this thief is actually going to be moving towards Lyn's party, which is no good, considering I want to steal his items. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Lyn roughly within that Myrmidon's range. She should be able to take him out without issue, but it's mostly that hit chance that might hurt her. Yeah, there it is. I just have to make sure I stay out of the way of that thief. Because if I'm in the way of that thief, then he's either going to steal my items, which is going to make things a bit more difficult for me, or one of my units is going to inadvertently kill him, which would be even worse. Lockpicks are, believe it or not, actually fairly hard to come by in Fire Emblem. And in this game, if you don't have lockpicks, your thieves can't open chests and do things of that sort. So it's really a bit more of an issue there. Now I'm actually going to take the really fast method of getting... Okay, where is this thief's range? Okay, he'd have some trouble getting through these woods, which is good. Means that we have a bit of an advantage here. He cannot yet move on to the town, which is even better. The thief is going to try to move to the town. Which means that if we can manage to land someone on it, like say Kent, and then we keep everybody else out of range, we should be able to actually just steal his lockpicks next turn. Now Urk is going to continue moving up because he's just going to tear the enemy forces. Actually, should I use Hector? I think I should use Hector. He needs some experience. He really needs to level up a bit. Then again, so does Guy, and Guy's just incredibly weak right now. Level 5 only, which is a pity. Marcus is going to visit this village. I think they give me a blue gem? Or maybe that's the one to the bottom right. Oh no, they give me a red gem, alright. That sells for 2,500 gold, so it's fairly useful. And I don't think I have cause to move anybody else this turn, so that's just going to be it. Myrmidon is going to retreat, and the bandit is actually going to be moving towards the town, I think. Just because I haven't rescued it yet, which is actually good for me, because it means he's not going to be going to attack Merlinus. There we go, 2 cavaliers in range, and the thief moved perfectly within range to be stolen from by Matthew. Take his lockpicks. Good, good. A little bit of experience for Matthew, but more importantly, he now has a set of backup picks. Will has an iron bow and a steel bow, but almost no chance to stay with either. But he lands a crit with the steel bow to take out that thief. Are you trying to impress me? Because it's working, if that's the case. Oh, but there's the level ups we're more used to. God damn it. Alright, so maybe Will is not going to be our archer this time around, but Florina is more than proving herself to be the Pegasus Knight we're going to want to use. Another level up, hopefully some good stats. Yep, we're definitely using Florina. I think the next time I get a Seraph robe, it's going to go to her. Her only real problem at this point is survivability, so once she can get a little bit of survivability, she'll be pretty much unstoppable. Really? You missed with the wolf bale there. Alright, sure, that happens. I mean, it doesn't. It almost never happens, but we'll say it happens. And then with 2 bandits up here, I'm actually going to move Guy up here. Next turn, he can move into the mountains and actually use them to his advantage for dodge. But for now, these enemies are just going to keep moving out. Truth be told, Guy can actually move through the mountains and join up with the rest of our party here after enough time's passed. And Oswin is just going to stay on that forest, because I'm pretty sure there are reinforcements from Laos at some point. I'm going to have Kent go ahead and visit this village, get whatever they have on them. Oh, it's an armor slayer, isn't it? No, a heavy spear. Okay, the lance version of an armor slayer. Heavy spears deal extra damage to heavily armored units, like knights and generals. So, that's actually... it's alright, it'll definitely give us a weapon to use against him. If we could actually bring Oswin over, it would be fairly easy to, so I'm actually going to send Marcus back. When the time comes, I can just have Marcus, or maybe even Florina, rescue Oswin and have him run over. Hector takes no damage from a lot of physical attacking units. The only things he really has to worry about are magic users. If we run into a magic user while Hector's around, he is going to have a very bad time. Lowen gets attacked because he was in range, which sucks, but at least he didn't attack a healer. And Hector, if he hits, can one-hit kill this unit. There we go. It's more like it. That is the benefit to the Wolf Bale. It doesn't have too many uses, but it does almost always one-shot kill a unit that it's strong against, so it's pretty handy to use. 1 experience from getting shot goes him to level 8, where he finally gets some speed and resistance, which is definitely welcome. Oh, the last soldier has a javelin for some reason, so we're just going to go ahead and let him try to attack, but it won't really do him too much good. Instead, Guy is just going to sit in the mountains here. The enemy has a 5% chance to hit, and Guy has considerably more, despite the fact that they're on a peak. And naturally, Guy misses twice with an 81% chance. Oh my god, your stats are fine, but your hit rate is absolutely abysmal, Guy. Please stop letting me down. I want to be able to use you as a reliable unit. Now, Hector is going to go ahead and attack with an Iron Axe. Very low hit chance, but what in the world just happened there? Apparently, something caused my game to tab out, so it stopped recording for a brief moment. Oh well. Anyway, Urk is going to be more than able to take out this bow user. He would take 8 damage, though, so instead, we're going to just move up right next to him. But would the other units be able to attack Urk? Actually, no. Nobody would be able to attack Urk except for this Cavalier with the Javelin, and that's fine, since Urk can attack the Cavalier with the Javelin back. So, 2 hits with fire should be more than enough to take him out if Urk doesn't miss, which is good. 82% hit chance, and hitting twice is much better than the exact opposite. I'm going to give this kill on... oh, apparently he's not even weak enough for Rebecca to get the kill. That's fine. She'll get some experience. And once she does actually start to get her level ups, she'll be quite a good unit. But it's just a matter of her being able to level up. Luckily for us, there is one stage that absolutely breaks the game on its knee that we are going to be abusing. It's actually, I don't know if it's a bug. Well, no, I know it's a bug. It's definitely a bug. But it is one of the handiest bugs that I know. And definitely one that we're going to take advantage of. But that's not for some levels now. Not until after we actually get through what is essentially Act 1 of the game do we come to this level. But I think it's the very first level after Act 1, so it's going to be a bit of a trek from here to where we fight the Disc 1 final boss. But after that, we should be fairly well off. Alright, and this Javelin guy is going to continue harassing Guy, which is just really unfortunate. And a bandit does appear at the bottom right of the map. If for some reason you haven't rescued this village by now, go ahead and do that so he doesn't pillage it. Going to send Lynn up. Matthew is going to go back to deal with this bandit since he's such a high level that we really don't need to train him as much right now. Hector is going to take care of this knight. And normally, you see this many units coming at you from the enemy side of the field, you'd want to narrow them into a choke point or something of that sort, but instead, I'm just going to meet them with exactly the same amount of units, if not a little bit more. Who needs healing? Does Florina? Yeah, Florina needs a bit of healing, so we'll use a heal staff on her. And unlike some other games in the series, Fire Emblem doesn't actually have any sort of overworld screen in which you can go back and purchase items and vulneraries and things of that sort. I suppose a vulnerary is an item, but that's beside the point. The point is that you have to make sure that you buy within stages rather than outside of them, because if you don't buy in a stage, you're going to be in a bit of trouble. Simply because you'll probably run out of attacking items, as odd as that sounds. Guy is sitting at 14 health, so I'm going to use a vulnerary on him. He'll kill both these axe users this turn, and neither of them can reach Merlinus, so we're fine there. Urk and Eliwood and Hector should be more than able to take care of all these units coming in here. Especially Urk, since he has just enough speed that he's going to be able to attack twice with pretty much anything. So far as I know, that's one of the benefits to magic users. The weight of their weapons doesn't actually hinder them. At least I don't think it does. I don't know if that was intended or what's going on there, but it seems like magic users have a much higher chance of attacking twice compared to other units of similar strength. Guy's gonna get a couple of kills on these bandits here, which is good. Finally get him the EXP he needs. Come on, strong level up. Well, that's a pretty strong level up, just no strength in it. And Guy has now reached the point where he is equal on levels in strength. Hopefully he will be able to get a strength level up for most of the levels from here on out. Seems entirely unlikely since he is a Myrmidon, and Myrmidon strength growth is pretty abysmal, but I'll keep my hopes up. Who knows? There we go. Matthew gets a couple of hits on the bandit here. And last soldier's going to hit Urk, but that's not really going to matter. He's both in the woods and extremely strong. Gets another level up, and what does he get? Skill, speed, and defense. Actually, that's great. Well, and HP, but he was already absolutely fine on HP after we gave him that Seraph robe, so no real worries. Hector takes no damage and promptly deals a bit too much damage for the other unit to handle. Nearly at another level up for him, which is good. Extremely good, actually. Enemy with the lance is going to attack Eliwood. That's smart, but nothing that he can't handle. He'll even attack twice and crit, so that's the end of that unit. Get a little bit of audible sharpness on his sword there. Toss the javelin, complete miss, which is good. It actually means that Guy's going to be free to move out and join the other units this turn, which is absolutely excellent. Healthy enough to fight with the other units, and not even nearly weak enough to be slightly disadvantaged by anything here. Urk is going to move here. The archer should be able to attack him, so he will on this next turn, which is going to be extremely useful, because we just want that archer out of the way by the time Florina arrives. Now, Florina does have a javelin. She'd be able to attack twice against that unit, but not kill it. Slim Lance would be able to kill this unit, though, which is good. Oh, and a critical hit would definitely be able to kill him then. So she gets a little bit more experience. So it looks like the standout units thus far are Florina, Urk, sort of Hector, and sort of Eliwood. Nobody else has really shown themselves to be absolutely exemplary. Sane's strength is still absolutely mind-bogglingly high. So he can even use swords to deal massive amounts of damage, but with his Horse Slayer he should be able to nearly kill this unit. Certainly be able to weaken it up enough that Rebecca should be able to get the kill if she's in range. I can't remember if she is, though. There we are. Rebecca is just out of range. Figures. Oh well. So Eliwood is going to go ahead and attack this next unit then. Nearly deal enough damage to kill him. Not quite, but 3 HP taken off of Eliwood in response. That's fine. Hector is going to move out and kill this unit then, since... Oh, wait a minute. Can Sane take him out now? Oh no, Sane already attacked. And Rebecca just does not have the movement to get up there. That is a real pity. Oh well. In that case, Hector can go ahead and attack with an Iron Axe. He has high hit chance since the enemy is using a Javelin. Or since the enemy is using any type of lance, I should say. Gets a level up, level 9. Come on, skill and speed? Nope, just more strength and defense. 13 strength, 13 defense is absolutely ludicrous for a level 9 unit. But that's Hector for you. That's really what he does. Lyn could talk to Urk, which we could do, but it's mostly just a, oh hey, what a wonderful reunion on the battlefield, let's go kick some ass together and then we'll talk afterwards. That's, if you take any of the units that were cooperating with Lyn, and you have them talk to Lyn, that's pretty much the exact interaction you'll get. More speed and luck growth, but still nothing in the realm of... what in the world? He's really going to attack Lyn? Alright, that's fine. He can deal some damage to her, which I suppose is to his benefit, but... or to his credit, rather. And his benefit, I suppose. Both would really work. So Urk is going to be able to take out the last unit with the steel bow. Was that a level up? No, it wasn't. He did not go over the level cap. Hector's going to move in. This Myrmidon has just been running away for this entire fight, which is actually pretty funny. We're going to have our healers move in. They're going to have a bit of trouble getting through all these trees. These trees are actually the biggest problem in this entire level. The area around Laos is apparently, or Caelin is apparently heavily wooded. Which sucks, but, you know, what are you gonna do? And then we do have Bowker as the boss of this level, who has a Javelin and a lot of defense and resistance for once. 11 resistance on the boss, which means that Urk, for all of his strength, is not going to be able to do as much damage that he's used to. I'm gonna have Lyn heal up, since if this magic user decides to attack her, that could be a problem. Same for Eliwood. And again, everyone can talk, but nobody will really do anything with it. So we're gonna have Florina fly up here. And now, with most of our units gathered up around this base, we're pretty much finished with the level. It's just a matter of routing the final couple of enemies. This guy finally stops retreating in favor of attacking Guy from a fort. Guy is just going to take him out anyway, no real worries. But the Laos soldier with thunder, that's a bigger problem. 13 damage in a single hit. I think that's going to be a job for Florina. Heavy resistance on Pegasus Knights make them perfect for taking out magic users. That and the fact that they deal physical damage, and most magic users are not strong enough to deal with that. He actually had a chance to deal 7 damage though, so that was an extremely strong random unit. She gets additional speed and luck and health, which is fine, but no strength, skill, resistance, defense, which is kind of a pity. But now, with the victory theme going, we're perfectly fine to just move out in here. I'll even trigger one of the talk animations. Lyn, Eliwood, Florina told us where you were. We're in the middle of a battle. Talk to us later. Yep, just what I expected. Hector could also talk to Lyn, but they've never met each other, so go figure. We're gonna have Sane move in, as well as Will, and Lowen, and all of our healers. And I suppose Kent is there too, but we don't really need to worry about Kent. The one thing that Will does have over Rebecca is much higher HP at this point. But your unit really shouldn't be getting attacked. We do have Osmond back here, so I guess there aren't going to be reinforcements. I must be thinking of a different level. Oh, or not. Literally, the moment after I say that, some reinforcements show up. So, if you weren't prepared for this, they can easily kill Merlinus. But, if you are prepared for it, as I was, then you can actually send Oswin or Marcus back to defend. Since there is a mountain here, and Cavaliers can't cross mountains, sitting someone here is literally the only path they have to get to him. And with Oswin here to defend, they'll probably, one person will attack Marcus, the other person will attack Oswin, and we can just defend against them fairly easily. But if you don't defend Merlinus, or you don't win by this point, then he is going to be having a bit of a bad time. 54% chance to do 14 Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so Urk is going to survive, worst case scenario. But only just. I need to get him rescued and out of there post-haste. I just wanted to see what his attack was. But no, I accidentally had him actually attack instead. Luckily, I've got both my healers in the area, so what I can do is do a chain of rescuing and extra movement to actually take him and drop him halfway across the map well within range of our healers. Both of them, for that matter. So, Sarah is going to go ahead and use a heal staff on Urk, not going to nearly heal him up since we had that Seraph robe on him and he's got the 7 extra health from it. But he's healed up enough that he could survive another hit from the boss, and now Priscilla is going to go ahead and use a mend staff to get him the rest of the way along. How much magic does Priscilla have anyway? That'd probably be something good to check. 6 magic. Okay, so a heal staff would have actually done there. Now, could we have Hector just kill this boss this turn with Urk having weakened him? We definitely could. Hector is able to just beast this guy into oblivion. 22 damage, 78% hit chance, so I'm actually going to wait. Why am I waiting, you ask? Well, because we still have units backed by Merlinus, and that's free experience for Osmond, and that was an amazing level up for Hector. Had most of the things he needs, but still no speed. The next speed wings I find are going straight to him. I'm actually going to have Rebecca move up and across these mountains. I'm going to have Florina move backwards in a turn or two here, just to help out with the fight. This last soldier is just going to move on the forest and attack Oswin, which is good for Oswin that he's being attacked. And this guy is going to go ahead and attack Marcus, but he's going to be able to do only 3 damage. So, since they can't kill our tent, we're just going to be fine. Oswin gets some free experience, and that's great. And then after we kill both of these units, I'll just have Eliwood seize the castle, and we'll be good to go. I'm actually curious, what does the conversation between Lyn and Hector even entail? Are you an ally? Something to tell you? Oh. That's it. Just, I have something to tell you. Okay, bye. Talk to you later. Fair enough. Meanwhile, I'm going to have Sarah and Priscilla use some of their heal charges just to get them some experience. There's really never a bad opportunity to use your heal staffs. So let's see what units aren't at full health right now. We have Guy, who's extremely weak. I completely forgot about that. Will's a little bit down. Sane, Marcus. Everybody else is pretty much at full. Good, so let's go heal Guy. God, I can't believe I forgot about him for this long. Now, I could use 2 heal charges or just a single mend charge. Mend is generally better for when you're in a hurry, though. And in this case, I'm not in a hurry so much as I am going to kill these units on the next turn or two, so I guess I am in a little bit of a hurry. Now, both of these units are going to be attacking Marcus. They're dealing fair amounts of damage, but they really just can't kill him, especially due to the high miss chance they have. If these were anything but Cavaliers, there would be the problem of you'd have to position someone on that mountain just above him as well, to make sure that they didn't move over it, but since they're not, since they are Cavaliers, we don't have to worry about that. Oswin is going to go ahead and hit with his Iron Lance, which is good. And then he'll level up, excellent. Come on, some speed, hopefully. That was an amazing level up. I'm okay with that. Level 13, or level 10 with 13 strength is good enough that we don't have to worry about strength too much. We can just hope for the level ups of things that are extremely important, like speed, which we did get, so good times there. Sarah is nearly at a level up, which is good. Priscilla isn't quite there, but she is getting 12 experience per use of her... Does Hector have any health missing? He does, good. She's getting 12 experience per use of a mend staff and 11 experience per use of a heal staff. This does not change at all for unupgraded units, which is another thing that they changed in Fire Emblem Ascension that I kind of liked, was that staves don't give a flat 11 experience all the time now, which, don't get me wrong, that's fairly good for leveling up. You know exactly how many charges it's going to take, but only 11 experience means that it takes a long time to level up healers, and you generally will have them a bit behind the rest of their units. There is going to be an exception to this, which is going to be during the bugged stage that I mentioned, but that's going to be pretty much the only exception to this. Now, with all the enemies dead, Eliwood will go ahead and move here and seize the castle. If you did just see what was there, though, Eliwood does have a support available with Hector, which I believe we'll be taking, since an A support between Eliwood and Hector would make them an absolutely incredible combo. Now, let's see here. We're moving into the castle. Oh yes, Hector, meet Lyn, Lyn, Hector. Oh, he's never been trained. There you go. It is true, he does completely swing his axe backward and then just jump into the air and bring it down, but you know what? That's fine. So long as he actually does the damage, that's perfectly okay. Oh, and hey, look, we've been reunited, and it's because everybody's in trouble. There you go. Yes, we're here to rescue your grandfather. Again. Dude just cannot stop getting in trouble. Lord Darin is getting just his ass whooped at every turn. And Lord Hausen is just sitting there as always. If there's one thing he's good at, it's talking to the villain. Oh, even better. And he just stabs the Marquess, because that is the best way to earn our favor. Oh no, wait. That was Ephidel, even better. Oh, they're both of their deaths are on you. Yeah, I killed them, but I killed them for you. To trap you? That actually makes sense. If he kills him while he's allied with him, then he would be responsible for both of their deaths. They'd seek the penalty for it, and Darin really has nothing that he can do but just move forward. It's actually fairly clever, but Ephidel has the whole, isn't it what you want to rule the entire land with doing everything else? Still worth a few sacrifices. It's like he's hypnotized, whatever. Might be the golden eyes. Now, everyone from Laos is getting left behind now. He's going to be using the Black Fang from now on. Oh, which he just said, actually. And we're going to the Dragon's Gate. He has 1 or 2 orders to get, or 2 or 3 rather. It'll be right behind us. Alright, so we get a random person. Finish off Castle Caelin and hide the body. Good. Fair enough. Alright, so Ephidel is definitely running the entire scam. Darin is just absolutely owned. Eliwood and anyway, text. Eliwood and colleagues defeat Bowker, one of Marquess Laos's lackeys, as they press on towards Castle Caelin. Yet inside the castle many Laos soldiers remain. I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Oh dear. Eliwood and friends begin their assault on the castle to save Castle Caelin. I do hope I'm pronouncing that right. If it's not Marquess and it's like Marquis or something, I'm going to look absolutely ridiculous. So apparently movement on the world map means literally moving into the castle that we just saw. Now, there are a lot of soldiers in this castle. They're prisoners, though? Oh, well, there you go. Now, as with any sort of optional item, you do actually have quite a good option here. What you have is there are going to be soldiers locked in this cell. After a few turns, the cell is going to be unlocked and the soldiers are going to be attacked. Now, the good thing is, if you save all of the soldiers, they give you items. Better items for the more of them you save. But it's getting there that's a bit of trouble. However, as you can also see, there are chests here, so you'll want to bring Matthew along, because there aren't nearly enough chest keys to be able to open up everything. But I do think they might drop a couple for you. Maybe? Oh yeah, we've got a door key here. A chest key with 5 uses. Chest keys have 5 uses in this game? Alright. And door key, a hammer, so we'll have to be careful with that guy. And a couple of door keys that don't drop for some reason. I guess you're supposed to steal those if you really want to save pick uses if you want to open up all the doors. That actually makes a little bit of sense. Oh well. The problem is, once these guys are out, they will actually charge for the fight. They will charge forward and attempt to fight the enemies. If they reach the general, they're just going to slaughter themselves on him. So you have to be pretty careful there. So I think this is going to be the last episode of the level, so let's go ahead and get started as soon as we make sure that we have the correct units. We have Eliwood, good. Marcus, I might actually leave behind for the first time this level. Lowen is not going to be coming with us. We've got Priscilla, who we want to bring along. It's actually, if you talk to the fortune teller, you get the augury, she'll tell you that you want to bring Priscilla along. Or if you don't have Priscilla, she'll tell you something about, I don't know, a red-haired unit or something of that sort. So we have Sane, but I think we're going to be bringing Lynn instead. And Florina does have that Thunder Tome that she can trade to Urk, since his is down about 10 uses thus far. And I am going to have her trade a Steel Lance away from someone, since she should be strong enough to wield that without too many issues. What is the weight on that thing? 12? 13? And she's got 8 strength, 16 speed. She should be able to do it, but I'll also grab her an Iron Lance just in case. Does anybody have one? Does nobody have an Iron Lance? Oh, well, I should have bought one of those. Okay, anyway. So we've got all our units ready. We're going to go ahead and start the fight. Merlinus became level 7, and we're going to deploy him again. Now, the captured Caelin soldiers, Eliwood's telling you they're probably not going to be able to fight. He's absolutely right, they're completely worthless. There are going to be cavaliers coming through this area in an attempt to kill Merlinus. As you'll notice, there's almost always someone that's going to be coming through to attempt to kill Merlinus later in the level in an attempt to keep you off guard, I guess. Or on the off chance that they catch you off guard. But if you know about the enemies coming, then you should be able to predict them well enough that you should be able to guard Merlinus. So we are just going to move straight into the fight here. Hector is fast enough to attack twice against this knight, and he's not going to take any damage, so we'll just use an Iron Axe. No need to waste uses on the Wolf Bale, especially when we've got that boss sitting in the back. So Hector's getting plenty of experience and getting it quickly at that. Eliwood is going to be able to take out this other archer, which should be alright. Gets a critical hit. There we are. Jumps back for some reason. I never really got why he does that as animation. Yeah, it's cool, but I suppose you don't need any other reason besides it's cool. Alright, so Guy's going to move in. Matthew is going to pretty much be our forward attacker for this round, actually. Considering there's not much that he can do. There weren't any enemies up there, were there? Not enough to really bother us. There are lots of Pegasus Knights, so you need to be careful with Florina. The Augur will actually, or the Augury, whatever you call it, will recommend that you don't bring her along for this level, and if you don't think she's strong enough, then don't. But her quick movement is still extremely useful. Now we get a random guy, and apparently he hates Hector, so he wants to fight with them. Oh, and apparently he was using Lucius as a hostage, so Lucius is here as well. The dude's name is Raven. Alright. Alright, and if he betrays us, then Lucius dies. Well, there you go. So, now we know exactly who we have to rescue here. We have 3 Caelin soldiers, we have Lucius, and we have Raven, whoever he is. Now, Raven is actually going to be a fairly dangerous unit, but here's the thing. Hector, for as much as he says he hates Hector, Hector is actually the best unit for luring this guy out of where he is. Not because Hector has a special aggro range on this guy or anything of that sort, but simply because Hector has tons of defense, and you want to defend against this guy instead of killing him, which is important. Now, Matthew's going to help take care of a few of these archers, but eventually he's going to just move back and take out the guy with that chest key, unless there is a guy with a door key right here, maybe? Anywhere? No. That guy does have a chest key, but nobody has a door key, which is really the issue. Does anyone here have a door key? I could also steal that one unit's vulnerary, which would probably not be too bad. Alright, but as you can see, he has a specific portrait, and he has... One of the easiest ways to gauge if you're going to be able to recruit someone is the fact that they have a significant portrait and they're not a boss. Obviously, we're not going to be able to recruit Bernard here. In fact, I can only think of one situation in Fire Emblem where you've ever been able to recruit a boss, but that was quite an odd circumstance, and you had to do a lot of extra conditions to get it through. Well, no, you just had to do something completely unintuitive. There were no extra conditions, it was just something dumb. And if you think about it, yeah, it could have made some sense, but So anyway, Eliwood's going to get a crit and take out this enemy, which is fine. He's going to get a level up, which is great. And he's not going to get strength, which is terrible. But HP, skill, and was that resistance? I think so. That's all right. Hector doesn't have any resistances, so we're not going to send him anywhere near that magic user down in the bottom right here. Instead, we're going to be sending Florina out that way. She does have the archer there, but neither of these archers are going to be able to reach her because we've set up a bit of a wall. And she's not going to be able to be within range of the other archer because she's just going to stay away from these walls. The fact that these walls are too thick here and one thick here means you can get this soldier to attack you if you put Urk there or someone like him. So you should be alright there. Guy actually needs some experience, so I'm going to move him up here, and Oswin needs to stay behind for the knights that are going to be coming by here pretty soon. Priscilla, Sarah, and Lynn are just going to be moving in so they can continue healing and standing by in case we need them, but we don't really need anything else. Priscilla actually does have a purpose here, though. No HP, so that sucks, but 8 resistance is actually pretty damn good. So, what the Augur mentioned before the level is that you're probably going to want to have someone with red hair in your party. That's pretty much the entire tip she gives. Now, that may not seem like much at first, except for the fact that you're going to have to take Priscilla with you. That's the red-haired person she was talking about. And this is actually important, because if you'll notice, the dude that you're talking to, Raven, has red hair. Priscilla mentioned something about her family in the last chapter. It's a little bit unintuitive, but he's her brother, and therefore she is the one that can recruit him. You don't always have your lord talk to someone to recruit them, and this is a game like that, where you don't have your lord talking to them. Guy is not powerful enough that he can wield the steel sword without using it, so he's going to equip his killing edge. I have a feeling we're going to be using that killing edge as a bit of a crutch for Guy for a couple of levels here, but that's fine since he seems to be doing well with it. This knight is going to be able to move in though, which is going to be a problem. Unless I can get someone who's powerful enough to weaken but not kill him. I don't think there's going to be anyone like that here. Possibly Matthew, but probably not. So Florina's going to move in here and use her javelin, so she'll be able to attack that magic user when he attacks back. Urk is going to be there, so we can get the archer to attack him next turn, and Eliwood's just going to move out with the rest of the party. Priscilla's going to move up as far as possible, because we do actually need to... I think we need to move her pretty much her entire max movement speed for the entire mission to get her within range before something happens. I can't remember what. I think it's that the soldiers get out and start fighting. And we want to stop that. We especially want to stop that because we don't want Raven to fight them. Because Raven or the soldiers might die, and that would give us a worse reward. Alright, so yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to take this level on. I think I'm going to have to move Matthew forward to take some of the fire from that knight, but that's okay because he'll be able to deal some damage to him back. If he had his armor slayer, that would be great, but he lost that at the end of Lynn's chapter, so... Oh, and he's only dealing 1 damage, so much for that. Whatever, it'll happen. The archer behind that knight should also move up, and the second knight. There we go, so we've got plenty of people to attack. That flux-wielding dark mage is not going to be able to do much damage to Florina, because she's more than powerful enough to take him. And since dark mages are very slow, she'll get 2 attacks and take him out pretty much instantly. Urk is going to be able to take out this unit. We'll send Matthew back for those treasure chests soon enough. And who am I forgetting about? I'm forgetting about Oswin, that's who it is. Now, actually the greatest disadvantage to this entire level is the fact that these Caelin Knights exist. Because after a couple of turns, one of them just says, hey, I have a door key that I was hiding from you, here is a tome, let's go fight. So, he's pretty much the cause of all of my troubles on this level. What can Guy do in terms of taking some people out here? He can take out this guy with the iron bow, he's not going to land a crit, so that's what use of his killing edge wasted. But it's not wasted since he got experience for it. Please get strength and speed. Oh my god. Okay, level 7, still 6 strength. That's not good, but we can deal with it. Hector is more than powerful enough to take these enemies on without using his wolf bale. Especially because they're knights. Knights are supposed to have high attack and defense, but considering Hector has higher attack and defense, we don't have to worry about it. Plus, those knights just seem to have pretty terrible stats all around. Lynn is going to be able to use the Manikati to take out this particular knight. No crit, which means she might take 14 damage here, and she does, but that just gives Sarah something to heal. and therefore give Sarah some experience. You might be saying you should use Priscilla, you shouldn't, she has to move forward as quickly as possible. Because she needs to talk to Raven, which is why we're sending Hector along. If you don't have Hector trained up, then Marcus can also make a suitable substitute for someone that you can use for healing. Or, for a tank, sorry, I was thinking of using Sarah for healing there. So she uses Heal Staff on Lynn, she's powerful enough that she gets completely healed off of that, which is excellent. And then Urk is going to move within range here, and Florina is going to move back out to start fighting everyone else. Eliwood can just move forward with the rest of the party, which is great. And we have a bunch of archers actually coming up here. Matthew's at 5 health, so we're going to need to get him healed next turn. And Urk is more than powerful enough to just tank that. He would have 25 HP without the robe, so it wouldn't be great, but he'd still be able to survive 2 of those steel bow hits. But I still think that using that robe on Urk is one of the best moves you can make. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to have someone... I think what I can do is I can have someone move... Well, first off, let's just kill these archers, then I'll detail my strategy for getting the items. Because I need Matthew to move both up here to get the items and down here, but that would be boring to watch the entire time. So what can I do? Well, first off, I'm going to have Sarah trade for Priscilla's Mend Staff so she can heal up Matthew completely. That's the first move we're going to make regardless of circumstance. Then we need to clear out 4 archers with 5 units, but Eliwood can't even move, so it's practically 4 units. Every single one needs to kill an archer. He does have enough movement speed to attack, or speed to attack with that Iron Blade twice. Lynn can take out one of these. Oh, we do have 5 attacking units, good. Rebecca can weaken this one, which will make things a little bit easier. She might take 7 damage, and indeed she will, but that's fine, we can deal with that. We need Hector to take out the furthermost unit, since he needs to be as far forward as possible. So we need everybody else to kill the other couple of guys here. Guy, oh, please get a crit with his killing edge. Perfect, we needed that. Way to go, Guy. Get some experience. Matthew is going to take out the next one down. Okay, Guy got the door key, good. If Guy got a door key, then I can send Guy back to help Urk. Urk can open up the chests after Guy uses the door key to open that up. That was a really big miss and not one that I'm okay with, but we're going to have to deal with it. I don't know how we're going to deal with it, though. Lynn is going to kill this unit, pretty much guaranteed, definitely guaranteed with that crit. I don't think we're going to kill all 4 of these archers this turn, which is bad. HP, skill, speed, luck, defense, good level up, no strength, which sucks, but what are you gonna do? I think I'm actually going to have to move Priscilla within range of being hit, which absolutely sucks, but I can't do anything else about it. If I want her to get there before Raven starts slaughtering the units there, I'm going to have to. Hector gets strength and resistance again. He's easily going to max out on strength this level. I need to check these guys' attack range, though. Okay, so the safest place for Priscilla is actually going to be this corner here. Next turn... Oh, I could have healed Hector this turn. Next turn, we're going to have to kill that archer and then move everything else forward. Florina can actually act as a bit of a shuttle for the door key, come to think of it, because she's level 10. She doesn't need as much experience. Same for Urk, which is why we have everybody else there. Guy does need the experience, so having him kill some of these archers would be to our benefit. Please don't attack twice. He didn't. Good. Done. And please don't tell me they unlock the door this turn. Okay, I've got one more turn before they unlock that door and things go bad for us. Now, these units don't actually move until anything's within their range, so we want to put something within their range that can survive, namely Matthew. Or Guy, actually. Guy could probably survive Sue. Sue? 2. He gets a crit with the killing edge, which is good. That killing edge we're actually just going to have on Guy until he uses the entirety of it. We can get more later. Myrmidon, strength? No! Come on. Nothing. Level 6 and still... Or level 8 and still just 6 strength. That is a pretty terrible set of levels. Matthew is going to move straight up here and get the aggro of these couple of units. And once... Admittedly, once you do get through this area and once you do get through to Raven... You're perfectly fine to just, pretty much breeze through the rest of the level. Because the fact of the matter is that getting to Raven and keeping those soldiers alive is the only difficult part of what's going on here. And I say difficult, but I mean more frustrating. Because if you get some bad rolls on the RNG, or if you just have some bad luck with how the enemies move and attack your characters, you might not be able to get there in time to save all 3 of them. And I think that they give you a white gem worth 10,000 gold if you save all 3 of them, but I might be wrong about that. That might be a different level. We're going to move Lynn here, because I think they might have been able to attack Sarah if I didn't move her there. Rebecca's still at very low HP, but she's completely out of danger, so that's fine. There's a hammer, but Lynn has a Monicati, so I'm not even worried about it. Gets a solid hit, and the hammer for that matter. Now, if you need to use that hammer, it will actually be effective against the boss, so if you put it on Hector, that'll be another use of his Wolf Bale that he doesn't have to waste, but considering the Wolf Bale only has 5 uses left anyway, it's perfectly fine. And there we go. Lady Lindis, it's time. I thought aid might come, so I hid keys and weapons here. Here, have a light tome, and we're going to go ahead and break out. He gives him a tome, and he's going to go ahead and wait there. So, open that door, we will save the Marquess. No, you're gonna run out and die like idiots. Wait, seriously? We're getting a triangle of magic explanation now? This many chapters in? Alright, whatever. Light versus dark, dark versus anima, anima versus light. This is the trinity of magic. Yeah, that's fine. Now, you can actually just have Priscilla move straight out and talk to Raven, though. So we don't need a tank, which is good. Now, you get a weird little conversation between them. You were so young when we were separated. Oh, you're my long-lost brother Raymond, but your name is Raven now, and blah, blah, blah. So, we just go ahead and get... Oh my god. Stop talking, I recruited him, that's it. Okay, so he doesn't like Hector. And there you go, and we don't know that Priscilla is royalty, essentially. So that's fine. So that's fine. Now, we do have the 3 units here, so you want to send 3 people down here to rescue these 3 units. In this case, I think I'm going to be sending Florina as one of them, Hector as another, probably Guy or Matthew as the third. What are their... Constitution 6, Aid 5. So anyone with higher than Aid 6 should be able to rescue them. Priscilla's going to be one, Raven's going to be another. I'm actually going to be training up Raven, though. He's of the Mercenary class, which is generally a bit more powerful, but a bit less speedy than the Myrmidon. But in the case of Raven, he's actually powerful enough that you don't have to worry about either. He's just an absolutely ridiculous unit, and one that you'll want to train up, because he turns into one of the best classes in the game. The